Hello friends, right now I'm in the residence of Dr. Miguel De Leon, where a special gathering of very important people is taking place. Important people in the field of environment and wildlife conservation, particularly Philippine eagles. Yep, the Philippine Eagle Conservation Program. I'm so blessed, I'm so happy to be invited here. Let's go inside now and let's get to know who these conservation champions are. I got invited by Dr. Miguel David de Leon, a well-known retina specialist here in CDO, to a dinner fellowship along with other special guests in his residence popularly known as the House of Rustling Leaves. Dr. Miguel is also a bird enthusiast, photographer, naturalist, and conservationist. In 2018, he founded the Robert S. Kennedy Bird Conservancy, a small group of naturalists and photographers that studies poorly known birds, aiming to contribute to science and ultimately the conservation of avians and their habitats. He's about to release a book about an elusive bird found in the forests of Mindanao called the Bagobo Babbler after documenting 4 years' worth of new data. He and his team also have discovered a number of new species for orchids found in the mountains of Bukidnon. But what makes this evening even more special is that Robert Bob Kennedy is in the house, a friend of Dr. Miguel's and his inspiration naming the bird conservation group he founded after him. And who might he be, you wondered? Well, he's just a world-renowned American ornithologist or an expert on birds returning to the Philippines to celebrate 50 years since first arriving in the country to study birds and to spearhead conservation projects. He helped launch the monkey-eating eagle conservation program, which grew into what is now the Philippine Eagle Foundation in Davao. He also helped found the Haribon Foundation, a leading conservation organization in the Philippines and Asia. He is featured on one of the documentaries about Philippine eagle conservation shown on YouTube entitled Bird of Prey. I recommend you see it. Among many popular and scientific papers and books he has authored and co-authored is the popular A Guide to the Birds of the Philippines, a must-have for bird lovers and enthusiasts, researchers, and book collectors. Before dinner, I got to sit down with him and ask him what made him come to Cagayan de Oro and where to next after his visit here.
Very happy to be returning to Cagayan de Oro after many years to visit Miguel David de Leon, who is becoming one of the foremost ornithologists in the Philippines. He's made some amazing discoveries with the Bagobo Babbler and protected Philippine eagle habitat and other bird species. And it's a delight to be here. Tomorrow we'll go out and hopefully I will see something I have never seen before, even though I've spent over 28 years studying Philippine birds. I hope to see the Bagobo Babbler, which is a very elusive and difficult bird to see. After tomorrow, we're heading to Butuan City and then on to Bislig and then to Davao, where we will be helping the Philippine Eagle Foundation to promote conservation for the eagles. It will involve lectures at universities, meeting government officials, and just generally promoting the eagles.
Everybody was excited to see Bob in person. He even got to sign the guests' guidebook, jackets, and t-shirts, bringing delight to his fans. Of course, I got into the frenzy also. The night was perfect. Food were delicious. Everybody had fun at the table. Conversation was fruitful. Everybody got to chit-chat with him, asking questions, while Bob answered with humility and sincerity. Bob is really a champion for environment and wildlife conservation, and a very down-to-earth person. By the way, among the special guests is Department of Tourism Region 10 Director, Miss Marie Elaine Untuan. I had a short conversation with her promoting Urban Wild CDO. One of the ecstatic guests was Neil, finally meeting his idol and influence.
It's been a great honor and privilege to meet the Robert Bob Kennedy face-to-face. Just sharing a short background, I've been involved in conservation work since around 2009 in Bukidnon. During those times that I was photographing wildlife in the forest, especially birds, I relied heavily on the Kennedy Guide. otherwise known as the Bible of bird watching in the Philippines. So the opportunity, the very rare opportunity to meet Bob Kennedy face to face is really a dream come true for a bird photographer and conservationist like me.
The Philippines is one of the most unique places in the world in that it has many species of plants and animals that are not found anywhere else. If the forests continue to disappear, people are not out there to help protect the forest and the wildlife and the plants and so on. It will be a sad time at some point in the future. I encourage all of you to go out and to learn about the forest and enjoy it and to help protect it so that it will be here for us today and for all generations in the future.
So let's do our best and find ways to conserve and save what is left in the environment and wildlife. If they will all be gone tomorrow, then we humans have failed, morally and intelligently. And probably we would make God very angry. He created heaven and earth, and we destroyed half of His creation. We are better than that.
It was truly a wonderful night, a once-in-a-lifetime experience to be with these people. A special thanks to Doc Megs for the invitation. I am truly grateful for the opportunity that you gave me. To Mr. Bob Kennedy, thank you for your life. Thank you for the inspiration. More power to you and to your advocacy. We got your back. It was also a pleasure meeting other wildlife warriors. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next story.
All those inspiring works on conservation. So I'll just listen to you.
It truly is overwhelming.
Oh, yes.
I told the group last night that I fetched Bob at the airport, then the National Museum lecture. Spent time with him at the National Museum where he gave a beautiful lecture, and then dinner with my friends. But up to the time in Poco Deli, I still couldn't really believe my dream of meeting. I know.
In your house.
Yes, definitely. Right?
Come on, let's tone this down a little bit.
Okay, he's tired.
I'm just a guy that loves birds.
Why like the Philippine Eagle? How do you get yourself interested in the Philippine Eagle particularly?
That's a good question. I had gotten into birds late, actually. I was a junior in college when I was introduced to birds. But that was a one-day event that somebody introduced me, and I felt that this was what I wanted to do, study birds. But when I was in graduate school, I was finishing my master's, and I wanted to do a doctoral dissertation on birds. And I had been studying birds of prey. And I went to a scientific meeting in New York. And in the corner of this room of the museum, there was a mounted specimen of the eagle. And it was like, a cabinet, like one of the cabinets here. And to me, it was like love at first sight. The rockets went off, the fireworks, heart started to pound. So anyway, that's how I got into it. And then just by serendipity that the things happened to me that allowed me to come here way back then.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be.